to, but Chris Foster, graduate of Humboldt State University, class of 1999, had a degree in finance.
Yeah.
You obviously know Humboldt, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Sunmore.
Oh,
I was right up the street.
yeah, so I went to the College of the Redwoods first, the JC up there.
Oh, yeah.
And then from College of the Redwoods, I transferred to Humboldt State and played football up there. But all of our guys from College of the Redwoods, they all went to Sonoria.
I played as a Pacific.
Oh, right on the corner. So now we won't have programs anymore. Right? Humboldt State won't have a program either as Zusa. So, anyways, I've been in business 23 years. And I think most importantly, well, our firm mission locally, and we're taking this thing nationwide at this point. It's our job is to build an army of residential realtors. We want you to close 4 deals, minimum a year, stay within your resi. My good friend Crisante here, who does a lot of it, will be doing a lot of mentoring for the residential real estate side of it. We believe that he'll be able to get at least 4 deals a year. He calls it resi commercial, right? Resi commercial. And I think that's a good term, because we never ask you to get out of the residential business. We don't want you to. Now, ultimately, we believe you probably will after you start seeing some of the checks that come in and some of the non-BS that you guys have to deal with on the resi stuff. It's all numbers in commercial. You're not worried about the kitchen looking a certain way, and I don't like the way the bathroom toilet is, none of that stuff. So, anyways, that's who I am. I get to this all the time. I use this at our last couple of events, but I keep staring at this, right? Because everyone we talk to in the field, they want to just give excuses. I don't live my life with excuses. If you follow me, I'm busy probably 16 hours a day. I'm just busy. Our team is busy, and we're growing our team. And so I always tell people, look, give me an excuse and let me see your calendar. So open your calendar. Let me see what your excuse is on why you can't achieve what you need to. And as soon as you look at your calendar, we don't need to coach you anymore, because you either are doing what you need to do, and if you're not doing what you need to do, you're actually going to reach out for some mentorship. And that's what we hope to do with you, and the message we want you to relay to all your fellow realtors in this office. Because I think you guys and gals will be probably 5 steps ahead after today. And not only that, by introducing you to our team and have you communicate, watch their fundamentals on how they're able to put you in position to close your first deal in hopefully 90 days, then you'll see the benefits of that here. So get into it here, but tell people what we're not here to do, right? I don't want to. We're not commercial real estate agents, right? We don't do that. But we've been around commercial real estate agents. Welcome. We've been around real estate agents for 20 plus years, and we don't do commercial real estate, but we obviously have the team in place, that consultants that are under our umbrella with Crisante and like 5 or 6 other coaches from a mentorship program that can help guide you in that direction. So but again, we are not, but we know enough about it. We're not motivational speakers, although I do like to get intense and I do like to yell around, right? We're not motivational speakers, so I'm not here to tell you, I'm not here to give you no raw BS, okay? I tell people this, like, we're either gonna work or we're not. That's it, and simple. So let's just work. If you don't want to work, this is not gonna be for you. And lastly, I'm not here to tell you what to do. And I always get to this, right? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but what I am here to tell you is this Bev's perfect example. And we met her in Vegas in October last year at a big EXP conference. But we said, we're not here to tell you what to do, but we're here to tell you that, look, there's a whole bunch of opportunities that you're losing out on. And if you don't want to do it and you want to just pass the deals on to somebody, you can pass them to this gentleman right here who's part of your office, or you can pass them on to somebody maybe on our team that will close the deals for you and will still pay you. But for you not to stir the pot and do what is needed to get a deal, honestly, it's bullshit. So let's make money. That's the end result. Don't be offended by my language. So why residential realtors need to get into the commercial real estate world? Number one, and I say this all the time with that deal, and I wish I could have showed you the whole 4 minutes. Small business owners, or call them big business owners, where do they turn to first? They don't turn to me. Never do they turn to me. Now, my book of business is always the small business owner until last year when I started focusing on going after you, the residential realtor. But the small business owners are going to turn to the residential realtor first, the residential loan officer first. And also the CRE local markets, they're underserved. We don't have enough people in the CRE markets. And I believe that's another way and another opportunity for you. But look, you sold people houses. You sold business owners houses, right? I mean, that's true. So the trust is there, plain and simple. So they're gonna turn to you first. Why not you put that resource right in front of them? Hey, I do commercial real estate now. I have a team. We can support you. Angelo's big on this, and what he says is this: it's like, okay, I'm a residential realtor. You're a residential realtor. Now I gain the skill set to do commercial. My residential realtor base here is I have a homeowner who owns multiple buildings and multiple businesses. I don't gain the skill set of commercial, but another residential realtor does, and now they approach your client. Well, they're gonna approach your client because now they have skill sets that you don't have. So you don't want other people, other agents, because they're out there, besides the 60,000 that we lost because they're not in the business anymore, but you don't want anybody approaching your client because you didn't give yourself the opportunity to get the skill set. Plain and simple. It's dumb, it's stupid. Most importantly, obviously, we come from the lending side. If you don't understand the lending side, you're not gonna understand how to put your clients in the right position, and we're big on that. So understanding the commercial real estate loan programs allows you to have more conversations. That's the end result. I'm big on having conversations. I'm big on capitalizing on every single opportunity that you have. You're getting your haircut. Sure, we're having conversations about our haircut, but we're analyzing the environment of our conversations to somehow get in there. And yes, we're about making money, but if we can have conversations so that it allows us to be put in front of these individuals, to put resources in front of them so that they can capitalize on, why would you not? So have conversations. Most of you have conversations every time. I didn't get your name the last time you were here. I think you were in the front. Yeah, what? That's okay. Oh, sorry. No, okay. Yeah, and I think, so you do residential real estate in this local area?
I do, but I did a lot of property management for commercial real estate. So we had people like you come in all the time to pitch the owners of the buildings. We have to get a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
still in touch with them, so I'll definitely tell them about you guys.
Yeah, no. We don't want us, we want you to tell them about you.
Right.
We're gonna come as a package with you. Because we're gonna help support you and be a resource for you, but I think being able to tell them about you and putting you in a position by surrounding you with those resources.
Yeah.
And you know, you're dealing with other apartment owners and building owners like that. You got a lot of
They
money.
have like Wells Fargo and a lot of Corey stuff.
Yeah, and we don't, mean no harm, and this is with all due respect, but Wells Fargo, Chase, all the big banks, we don't deal with them. They don't.
How are you different from those things?
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into that in a while, but how we are different, I'll tell you about that, those banks. During normal times, they're gonna take 120 to 150 days to do your deals. So imagine during the recessionary period that we're in now, good luck on them doing your deal, period. Have you closed, did your guy ever close on that deal you went to Chase with?
They did not.
Yeah, see, there you go.
They empower, so our mortgage side of residential, basically the time with Chase, they, their appraisal, they did everything, once it went to underwriting, they turned it down.
They take it down, and that's very standard. So what happens with the banks is what happens with the banks is they're gonna tell you they're gonna do the deal. Show us how it is. Yes, they're gonna do the deal. It's like $10,000. You need to pay for the appraisal. They collect it, and then they collect the paperwork, and then they tell you probably 3 to 4, maybe 6 weeks later, you know what? Yeah, still from the very beginning. No,
Because banks are more conservative, right?
banks are way more conservative.
Oh, so that's the advantage.
Yeah.
They're more up.
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, we have nationwide resources. So that we can go to. Number two, we have the personal relationships with what we call the back-ended credit committees to get the deals done. So we know before we're submitting your deal, before the deal even goes in, before we collect the penny, we're gonna know if it's deal or not. To be honest, we'll know within 3 business days. So that's what differentiates us. I don't know if you want to add something. We have people on that, well, how are we different program?
Yeah, I mean, relaxed guidelines first and foremost, part of our expertise, 20 years experience, is knowing exactly how to structure your loan and your purchase or refinance and where to send that, to give you the highest likelihood and probability of closing that.
That's very important. Yeah, very, very important. So understanding the basic CREF language, commercial real estate finance, you'll see that here, that's the terminology, CREF, commercial real estate finance language. And honestly, the average CRE deal is $1 million and higher. And I know you guys do big deals on here on the west side, so I know that $1 million. Honestly, I think that out here on the west side, this number is usually 2.7 to 3 times higher. So probably the average bill on this side is probably $3.5 million. I say $1 million, but every area, every quadrant is different. I mean, we did a quick analysis to co-stars locally, it's like 3.5, 5.9, 6.3 million all around this area. So exactly, that's my point. That's my point. So think about the money you're keeping on the table right here. So, anyways, and then obviously I get to this all the time. Like, we're all about the caring, we're all about emotions, but commercial real estate, we don't care about emotions. We just, does it work for the dollar that I'm spending? Is it giving me the investment return on the money I'm spending? And if I'm a business owner buying the building, very important. Am I replacing rent to own? And taking advantage the tax savings advantage, which is huge with commercial real estate. Huge with commercial real estate. So why we are here today, right? So what is commercial? I want to talk about a little bit about commercial loans resetting and why now is going to be probably one of the most important times in your life. In your life. And I'll share the data with you. And I know Carlos just made a post this morning about that, and I'll get into that too, because we were on the phone with them yesterday when it happened with some of our reps. So a summary of what we're seeing in the commercial real estate finance markets. I'm going to tell you what's going on and why I believe now is the time for you to get into the game. What do loans reset mean? Types of commercial asset classes you need to go after, types of commercial loans, and why it's important for residential realtors to be in position to be a resource. We need you to be resources. We need you to tell all your friends that are realtors and loan officers to be resources. So, and in turn, we will be your resources with our team and our consultants that put you in position. So, here we go. Let's go. Storm is coming. You know, Bev, you were there, you heard. Look, there's huge opportunities in the commercial real estate, and probably most importantly from your own clients and your own referral base. I'm going to keep referencing to your phone because I'm always about how do I put money in your pocket today. And when I say today, I'm talking about 90 days out. But I guarantee you through whether you do it or not, but even through the program that we built, the training program that we built, the consultant team that we have, as soon as we dig in your phone, honestly within 2 days, you're going to start getting calls back. We're going to put you in position to make sure that we mold your way down from day 1 to day 2, and hopefully you have appointments and meetings set up within 10 days. That's our hope. We put you to the program. So we have to, you know, and also like you can like you're cutting your hair, doing your nails, eating somewhere. Like all these are clients of yours. All of them. I'm in the elevator at Telsign all the time, wherever we go for conferences, and we're gaining businesses. No matter we're gaining business where we're at. Get back to having conversations. So. And do you have the resources and services in place to be the solution and to retain and capture that business, right? So your conversation with like, fine, you're going to be new to the commercial business. You're going to be new. You're going to go out there and you're going to be against people who aren't new, people who have experience, and that's fine because hopefully just your ability to hold conversations will be able to capture the client. But most importantly, we truly believe with our team and with the resources that we put in place, and again, I get back to the army of realtors that we're trying to build. So we truly believe that we will be able to go out and be a resource for you to close these deals. Because it may not be you, but the conversation goes like this: hey, how you doing, Rob? Why should we pick you as somebody should list this building? And here's my answer. Rob's a little bit more experienced in the commercial arena, but in general, the residential person, the answer is very simple. Look. We have a full team in place, a team that's been in business for 23 plus years. And you're not talking, you're not lying to anybody, because our company, to be your resource, we have 23 years of that. We have the services. You look us up, they're going to see that. So as soon as you start, and not only that, you that are here from Keller Williams, you guys have a huge backing by KW. And now you have a huge backing by KW, and now you have a huge backing of the Foster Company who's been around for 23 years, who's nationwide. Who has resources all over the place. So now we become one with you, and we hope to marry you to a deal by the support that we can offer. It's very important for us. And I'm going to tell you, I mean, Robert, are you doing less deals or more deals this year? The residential.
All right, residential more and commercial more.
Okay, so we see the statistics that show us is that the residential market is contracting, and I don't mean price wise, we mean volume wise. People are doing less deals, right? You're always busy,
But let's price point.
correct.
The price point's a lot lower.
Yeah, for your end, yeah, we're seeing that for sure. You right? Yeah, just on the road. And we truly believe that the only way to crack inventory is with layoffs. Nobody wants to see layoffs, however, the data that I look at is, I believe that we'll start seeing that sometime next year. They say that when the Fed started increasing the rate, that the true mark of where the economy is 16 to 18 months out. So that puts us into February and March of next year. So I truly believe the only thing that will curb an inventory issue is through layoffs, and businesses start laying people off. People have equity in their homes. They're gonna either have to keep their home by selling and but that will probably start to increase inventory, in my opinion, but nobody wants to see that happen, but it's just natural cycles of what happens if you look at all the economies of scale. So I'm big, and our team continues to hear this, and I'm pitching this, because this is why you need to get into the commercial game. Plain and simple, plain and simple. Look, we last night or this morning, Umpqua Bank, whether you've heard of them or not, we do a lot of business with these guys. They're big in Northern California, and actually they like Banco Popular for a little bit, and then they sold off. Yeah, so they have some presence down here, but they are the second largest apartment lender on the West Coast. On the West Coast. The largest multifamily bank was First Republic, and we saw what happened with that. So now you have number one apartment lender getting out of the game. Now you have number two apartment lending getting out of the game. It's really as simple as this. What happened with A's? The price of A's, all of a sudden A's went up. No inventory, right? So same thing. There's no banks that are doing loans. It doesn't matter if I'm A paper, it doesn't matter if I'm B paper. The cost now that I'm going to incur to buy A's is going to be 2 or 3 times more. It's the same thing with loans. Are the deals going to still be able to get done? Yes. But the cost of everything is going to be that much higher. However, if we get to 2 or 3 more banks that we believe that lend on apartments, they can get washed out here soon. We could potentially the federal government may have to step in, because there's going to be major cost issues there. So all over the place, you got banks that you know about, banks you don't know about. They're insolvent. They're insolvent when you look at them on paper. So anytime if I go to Rob and say, Rob, you're negative. You have all kinds of assets over here. But over here, you're in the hole. What is Rob going to do? Just start selling his assets in order to raise cash. That's what banks are doing. And that's why I say this may be the biggest time in your life to get involved in commercial real estate because of everything occurring. Could you do it before? Yes, but now because of all this turmoil, you need to be the resource for what we're going to call a crisis. So look, there's 270 there's $270 billion of commercial real estate loans that are coming due over the next 12 months. $270 billion, right? That's coming due, and I'll talk about what's happening with that. But out of that $270 billion on the bank's books right now, that's resetting on paper, it's only worth 125 billion. It's upside down. Think about that. When you're upside down as an individual, you think there's not panic going on? There it is. So again, if you could be a resource in here, and we'll talk about the specifics you want to be. Starting next year, there's $1 trillion coming due. You can Google all this, you'll see. So we have conversations with the SBA twice a week. So these conversations are very fruitful because they tell us what's going on. And what's really messed up is the commercial regional banking system for investment loan financing we just talked about. It's on the cusp of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen. So nothing without harping on the big banks, but do the big banks really care about small business owners? Nah. But we never really use the big banks. So we always say the regional banks are the ones that help propel the small businesses to another level. And I think that's something to think about that. So make sure you post that. $270 billion is reset. It's big. It's a huge number. And it does need some. Go ahead.
Oh, should we do questions?
You don't even have to.
Okay, I have questions. So the city of LA buys an apartment building and turns it into like homeless housing and it becomes property of the city of LA. Who does the loans for that? Or is it the city has their own in-house, like you people, or do they hire,
There's a two-pronged approach to that. The city has a fund that they built with a loan.
with our taxpayers?
with your taxpayer dollars, right? And we could talk about that, but that kind of runs me the wrong way. I won't get into that, but I'll tell you about the next one. Yes.
Some of that back in commission, but that's.
Well, you represent them on the real estate, you find the deals, you do that, let them fund it however they fund it.
I
You
don't
have-
know how they, yeah.
Well, I know how they pick the real estate people. It's easy, who's putting money back into their own nonprofits. That's the end of
Oh,
it.
that's
You know, so just go get in bed with somebody that's like, yeah.
Okay.
Not literally, literally. Yeah, yeah, but no, that's really
So,
what's happening.
I guess loans for the city to buy.
Yeah, so we have a guy who in Glendale, beautiful building, is a tenant there, and he called my business partner, he called for all the units, he said, hey, can you check the title of our building? He says, because I'm noticing tagging in our elevators now, so he said, it's a beautiful building, right? Okay, we'll look it up, we didn't get around to it for a while. He says, calls us again, hey, can you look this up, because all my Amazon packages are being stolen now, they never used to be like that, right? So we popped it up in the system, and we called him and we said, hey, guess what? He's like, well, I said, you're the new owner now. He goes, what do you mean? State of California was on the deed as they own the property. And so it changes the dynamics of neighborhoods, can be good, can be bad, you be the judge of what it
So they
does for
can
others.
really
Yeah. Not only that, you guys have that only that proposition, whatever, to make more money, right, LA? What a joke, what disasters happen. They expected all this money and they're not making any money.
Right, so the city just uses the tax dollars they have to buy it, they don't have to do a loan to buy it.
No.
They have,
Yeah,
they pay all cash.
correct. And
Okay.
yeah, it's absolutely the
That
other.
makes sense.
The other debacle that's coming is, there's for something, you may have the numbers on that, but I think there's a $360 billion building in LA that sold for 65 billion or something, right? So obviously Brookfield, they sold that. This is their note that they had against the building. They sold it for 65 billion. Here's the hidden cost that people aren't seeing.
Oh,
The tax dollars that are lost when somebody comes in and buys something for 65 billion, where these guys bought, now they're paying taxes to the county on 65 billion.
right.
Think about the resources that are lost at the city level because of that. Think about that. Tremendous. So, you know, off track. I can tell you so much more about this nonprofits. Yeah. Yeah. So commercial loans reset. So if you're not familiar with it, they every 3, 5, 7, or 10 years, they reset. I don't want to harp on that too much, but really what happens is that if I got a loan 3 years ago and I picked the loan term of 3 years, it's going to reset. So it resets to what the bond prices are today plus 5 or 6. So if I have a 2% interest rate there on commercial real estate, it's resetting to anywhere between 8 and 10%. And remember, I love having these boys with us. Anytime you have an increase, remember, commercial real estate is all based on income. So let's say I'm bringing in 100 grand of income after I pay all my payments, right? Based on a 2% interest rate. Well, now my interest rate just jumped to 9%. I'm no longer making 100 grand. I'm probably making 33K, I'll call it. So you just lost 66% of your, just based off of resets. So that's why I say, that's the other reason why, if you're in position, because you're a real estate, you're a commercial guy or gal, this no one's resetting, and they're like, I can't deal with this, I can't refinance, I have equity, put a resource in front, and let me just sell the building. Well, why wouldn't you get yourself in position to sell the building? Yeah.
When does the reset happen? What are the dates?
Okay, so,
Is it just?
yeah, so if you got, if you're commercial real estate guys, because like gals, or they all choose the lower rates, because by choosing the lower rates, they all get the greatest return, commercial real estate. So 3 years ago during COVID, rates don't. So everybody refinanced it, and guys like this is the lower rate, so they chose 3-year loans. So now come this year, they're resetting. The people that chose a 5-year loan in 2020, they're resetting, they're part of that other number, they're resetting in 2025. And we don't know where it's gonna be then. But here's the goal, their values drop because commercial real estate valuations all based on income coming in. So now if your income drops because the buyer coming in is buying at a higher interest rate, you just lost tax. So you need to be in a position to sell that property. That's gonna be good for you. So that's it. Stop me if you have any questions. Those are commercial real estate asset classes that you need to familiarize yourself with. more than likely, your use is gonna be, and we don't have single purpose, but that's, the single purpose property we probably should add is your gas station. Oh, where you
Yeah.
are, when you've had this for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know?
And what you said is right on the money as far as the gas station goes, because when you're selling a residential home, a lot of times a homeowner will say, but look at the kitchen. Look at everything I did. I have granite countertops. I did this sort of thing. It should be worth more. When it comes to the commercial side, I went ahead and I looked at the lease and I said, here's the rent you have now. Here's the projected, the lease has to go to 2043. Here's the increases put in there. And then all you do is do the math and you say, this is what it's worth based on this. So now I'm going to the seller and saying, a buyer is not going to pay what you think it's worth. They think it's worth 4 million. It's like, no, the best your property is worth at the top projection is worth 2.1 million. If we get a buyer that matches that or goes above, take the money and run. And just like Chris said, it's about the numbers and it becomes logical in that because that's what these people are looking at.
So those are single, so exactly. So these are all the asset classes that single purpose is not on here, but single purpose, what we mean is your auto body, your gas stations, your car washes, your golf courses, meaning that if I as a lender have to take these properties back, because that's how we underwrite things, for the worst and the best. So if I gotta take it back, there's only one thing that we as a bank can do with that. And that's run it as a gas station, run it as a car wash, versus if I own offices in this case, which is a key because I could potentially turn it into housing. Potentially I could turn it into a variety of other things to start generating money for banks. So single purpose, but I believe by you taking that data sample for us, of knocking on just auto repairs, right? That's a great example. Those single purpose properties are gonna be probably, we were talking, probably some of your biggest pinpoints for you to go get. You and I was talking about that, like where I start. Well, get with somebody here, have them put you on a mentorship program, have them show you how to go get those skills. And we're not gonna charge you anymore. So I'm not gonna say we're gonna sell you, but we wanna see you be successful. Look at these terms. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it today. Hopefully the next time Rob will fill that whole damn book with
Yeah.
big time and go over how to calculate cap rates and how you know all those good things. And we'll bring percentage and me and Al, all our team on the backside for Carlos and then we discuss that. But memorize those words. Just go and memorize those. Just go and do it. Take a picture of it if you have.
Do you think gross rent multiplier or commercial?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, you're gonna use your gross rent multiplier. It's gonna depend on the area and the asset type of building that it is. But yeah, you definitely use that when the bank is calculating what's the value of that income. And when you use that, the GRM, you're gonna look at, like I said, asset class and the area. That will dictate what you're gonna be able to do this to GRM.
Every asset class over here. And I'm glad you came today. Every asset class will have a different GRM. Every area quadrants of the country will have a different GRM. And I'll tell you right now, we're working on a Topeka, Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, apartment bill, $4.5 million loan. And the banks will hit it with extra increase of rents because it doesn't meet population, it doesn't meet this. So that affects obviously the GRM and what he's talking about, the valuations. So every part of the country is different, every part of the county is different, every part of the state is different. Just get different quadrants also. Yeah. So again, memorize those words, memorize them, please. Rob, you're gonna be tested, I'm gonna be seeing you a lot. Have any questions, stop me. So there's non-owner commercial loans, which is a debacle, and in our opinion, it will be a big talking point over the next 6 months if I ever see you again. SBA 504, SBA 78, memorize those. Memorize them, that by knowing the, Joey's not here today, is he? I was gonna say, we're gonna get in here.
What, and SBA, say what?
Yeah,
SBA, small business.
Yes, SBA 504, SBA 7A. They are Small Business Administration. It's the FHA, as you guys say, of the commercial world. So the FHA of the commercial world, what does that mean? If there's $1 million loan, so $1 million, there's an insurance policy on that $1 million. I will lend 850K for the borrower to buy that building, or let's call it 900K for this purpose. 900K, you put $100,000 down, so now I have a loan amount of 900K. The SBA will insure up to 85% of this number. So if the borrower ever defaults on that loan, the federal government will step in and cover 85% of this loan, which is 700 thousand. My math is correct. Somebody does that. 900,000 times 85%, 720,000 they'll protect. So the federal government, if you default on this, the Fed step in and get 720,000 and pay us or the bank, whoever it is, back. On non-owner, right there, on $1 million, you default, the bank loses on the whole $1 million. So let's think about the time that we're in today. Less risky, risky. Today's market, what do you want to do as a bank? Something that's protected, something that's not. And that's what protected, absolutely. So that's why it's very important for us and our team. 73% of our business last year is focused on the SBA program. And because the SBA program is for small business owners who want to purchase commercial real estate. Get them out of renting, get them into commercial real estate. But not only that, the small business loans are, you can, and we'll get into it, are for, you can buy a business with it, you don't have to buy the real estate, you can do, there's all kinds of other things that we're gonna get into right now. So this is actually a low number because right now in the non-owner world, down payment's actually up to like 50, 60%, in some cases 70%, just makes sense. So you as a realtor, you want to spend your time going after borrowers who need 40 to 70% down, or do I want to go after borrowers who are up and down the street, every single door you knock on, every person that's cut your hair, every person that does your nails, every piece of place you eat? Do I want to go after them, or do I want to go after somebody who needs 40 to 70%? My opinion is, well, you could go after the other one. I know that I need to turn money over, and I know I need to turn deals over. I'm going after small business owners all day long. Go ahead.
Do you have a website or some sort of a resource that shows us who's renting and who owns? Or do you have to go and have those conversations?
Does CoStar do that? Yeah, so we have a software that we use as a team that can give you that. It's yes, the answer is yes. So make sure you talk to one of these guys. Which one? Yeah, it's basically your MLS on steroids. Your MLS times $2,000 a month. You're trying to do it.
Yeah, Joey has an account with CoStar.
Everybody, let's use Joey's account. Let's get his password.
Just don't have it on multiple IP addresses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll cut you off real quick. Yeah. Well, he did say it. So interest rates are 7.5 to 11. Lenders, as we said earlier, the lenders are just going away for non-owner deals. They're going away. I don't want to focus on that. Certain commercial real estate asset classes, they're being heavily scrutinized. So the asset classes right here, obviously nobody's lending here right now. Nobody. It's so hard to get deals done. These guys are getting stuck all over, small offices, big offices, whatever. This, for whatever reason, shouldn't be a problem asset class, and it's becoming a huge pain in the rear right now. And we don't know why, because the state of California needs housing, and they're saying, hey, if it's mixed use, you can build above, you can build behind, but the financing wise, this is good. What about industrial subject? No problem.
Industrial, no problem.
Yeah.
Still at
Record highs in industrial. Record highs in industrial. Because cities are changing zones up. So the industrial that you do have is very, very valuable. Very, very valuable. And in apartments, we already know what's going on with this. I mean, I have to go on. I spent so much time to with that. I scare you. What's happening? A lot of our apartment owners here, they're leaving the state. They're getting out of here. And 2 weeks ago, the county, the LA City voted that if you own an apartment, every single one of your units must have air conditioning starting a year and a half from now.
Oh,
So,
no matter when it's built.
no matter when it was built. Here's the
Hey,
thing.
I'm gonna get air conditioning.
You are. So that.
And you'll pay for it.
Tell you, let me tell you. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen is, building owners, the problem is the building old.
Yeah.
And they have to go and do lay all the groundwork for it. So in order to collect $100,000 minimum. Yeah, they can't come back and ask you for more money. So what do you think they're gonna do? They're like, sell it today, I'm out of here. I'm gonna take the money and run.
We'll get more new owners. My building has changed owners.
I can, what's it for you?
9048 and I don't rent, so.
Yeah,
They-
you
they
can know,
want me out.
That will give you 150,000.
No, I want 300.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I told
Mhm.
them.
And they just made one day.
They
Tell them to go get it from the county
That's
or
right.
they will.
Well, they give lots of money to, they have government contracts to build Air Force bases and all these. They just decided to get those contracts.
That's crazy. So the 504 and the 7A, right? Those are the two that we want you to focus on. I'll fly through these here, but they are very important. Remember, all SBA loans, business must be owner occupied of the real estate. So the business must occupy 51% of the building. So 10,000 square feet, the business must put 51%, 5,100 square feet. You could put as little as 10% down, but let me just tell you this, we have a program that you get 100% financing through the SBA program. 100% financing, your business must show that you can service that debt, but it's doable. We just gotta call all the way here on the biz ad, right? Biz acquisition. He's like, hey, you guys do 100%. Yes, we go 100% financing. Longer repayment terms. We got into the one earlier, 3, 5, 7, or 10. SBA can be spread out as long as 25 years. Angelo mentioned more flexibility, right? We have a ton of flexibility. We have in-house decisions. So we can make a decision in-house right away, and we can massage and do what we need to do to see that the deal will get done from an SBA standpoint. And you can use it for non-commercial real estate. So if you're a business that needs to buy inventory, you need tenant improvements, you want to buy a business, but you don't want to buy the real estate, you use the SBA program. Very, very valuable. Go ahead.
For 51%. Business loans, could a Weaver do that with a some?
The WeWork,
Like a WeWork
yes,
for spaces?
because the owner of the, that's fine, the owner of the WeWork actually controls the master builder of that space.
Okay.
So they do qualify. The SBA is gonna be very skeptical because what's happening is, it's just about telling the right story. I mean, it's just telling the right story, like, because right now, a lot of people are using those spaces or they're converting big spaces to small spaces. Yeah. The 504, you have two lenders involved. You have the borrower puts down 10%. You have what's called a certified development company, or what we say CDC. They're a nonprofit and they make a lot of money, but they're a nonprofit. They finance 40%, and the bank credit union will finance the other 50%. These deals are harder to get done, just like any government bureaucracy. You gotta go through the SBA. You better have all your ducks in a row. But that's why you hire a good company like ourselves to help manage construction correctly. Any questions on that? I prefer not to go 504, although the rates are better right now on this than they are the 7A. But to be honest, the headache and the in and out that you can get on the 7A versus the 504, I'm not against going this route, but it's a lot easier to get the 7A stuff done. Here's the usage of the 504. We talked about it earlier. Purchase commercial real estate or land. You can purchase land with this program. You cannot purchase land with the 7A. Land with this program, not with the 7A. You need equipment, machinery, this program. You need tenant improvements. You can do either program with tenant improvements, but the 504 is allowed for that. The loan amount that will go to is 10 million. So if you're buying a $10 million building, you'll put down $1 million and we'll finance 50, 40, you put down 10. 50 being bank, 40% being CDC. What's really important here is this number. And to be honest, I hope that what we call the SOX, Standard Operating Procedures of the SBA, I hope they address this number next year, especially locally. We hope they bump that up to 15 mil. On the 7, I hope they bump that up to 7.5 to 8 mil. Having said that, what's big is this, especially locally, because it allows me to buy a building, and if I fit the 12 check marks that are right here to make that building green, I go all the way to 25. $25 million, huge, huge. Some other changes that the SBA's done, you want to write that down? Sorry, 7A. This is important because this is the 7A program You can use it for real estate all day long. Yesterday, someone jumped online and knows absolutely nothing and says that she can do SBA loans only 7 days, only for businesses. Not true. Not true at all. So I tell people, before you jump online, please make sure you know what you're saying, because everybody believes everything online nowadays. So you can refinance your current business debt, you can purchase your FF&Es, right, furniture, fixtures, and equipment or supplies. You can purchase commercial real estate, exactly what I just said. And this is big right here, and this is you as a realtor can get involved here. You as a realtor, you speak Spanish? No, doesn't matter. You as a realtor can get involved here. Business acquisition financing, baby boomers are retiring and are getting rid of their businesses all over the place, all over the place. You've got one, we've got multiple ones. The highest number in our lifetime were business, baby boomers, for whatever reason, their kids don't want their businesses. So their baby boomers are selling. Here's what's happening August 1st that the SBA will be announcing July 3rd, after the quarter, July 5th, actually. Before, in order to get business acquisition financing, if you came to me, you had to buy 100% of the business in order for me to do the loan. Starting August 1st, I can finance 50% of the business. So if you want to sell your business to me and I want to buy it, but I can't for whatever reason, don't have all the money to buy the whole thing, you could stay on as 50% owner. I can now buy or have somebody buy 50%, and I can finance just the 50% starting August 1st. Huge. It's a huge development because it's going to open up the arena even more here. And we'll be making the announcement too. The SBA will make it before us, and then we're going to roll hard. That is big. Got it?
Can I say one thing with business acquisition?
Jump in there all day long.
You want to just make sure that, there's a particular E&O insurance.
Yeah.
That you have that's separate than your standard, real estate insurance. So you don't want to check with your office before you do a business acquisition transaction, because it's an actual separate policy. Usually what has to happen is all the documentation for the business acquisition has to be reviewed by the insurance attorney, and then they approve it before the transaction closes. So that's something you just want to make sure with your front office side, you have that in place.
Very important. Joey won't like us if we did that.
I know that in our office that our E&O will cover business purchases. They don't want to move, that doesn't want to be the foot forward, but if we need to do it, we'll do it. But not all KW offices do that, like Beverly Hills does not.
Yeah, well, I run across them all the time, and I only run across 2 offices out of 10. So, but you know, that's what I say is like, everybody, you stay where you're at, like stay, and if your office doesn't do it, like just consult with us, like, you know, we have a menu of items that we can just like, okay, we need help here, let our insurance take over. We personally have $10 million just period of insurance because of what we do with the SBA. And so, we can help with that with our team, if in fact KW or EXP doesn't, whoever it is.
We have a business as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if that tenant turns bad, you're gonna be foreclosed that money. Yeah. Difference on the 504 and the 7A is 5 million versus 10 million. However, the 7A all day long is easy to get in, it's easy to get out. And I can get in and out of these days. We can get in and out in 37 to 42 days. They say the 504 I can get in and out in 60 days, but so why is it important for the residential realtor to be that resource? And I'm strong on this. Angela, I'm gonna have you jump in something this year. But look, again, be prepared to service your clients. Be prepared. Prepare yourself today. Anybody who's not here, you need to go to them. One of your lowest hanging fruits is to go to them as soon as you got a phone, whoever you have a relationship, as soon as you got here. Whoever you have a relationship with here today, you go tell them you want their clients. That's their own fault for not coming today. So you can help them immediately. Service your own clients' needs right in your phone and go on and obtain new ones. Educate yourself. 7A, 504, cap rate, all these things we're doing today, educate yourselves on it. It's going to be very important to set you up. Look, knowledge and foresight. Something puts you here in the right place at the right time. And let us help you monetize those inquiries that come in. We want to do that for you. Let our team help when you help your clients in crisis, it's a big crisis coming, guys. It's a huge crisis coming. And you need to be, I believe so, it's very similar. I mean, no crystal ball, but I truly believe something's really, really growing. And if you can be that resource and be in front of your client before this happens, they're your client for life. And he, like Angelo says, he's big on this. There were a lot of realtors, right? Who had no answers for their clients in 2008, right? And what happened?
They're on the business anymore.
Say it. Why would you not take advantage of it? Why would you not take advantage of all the experience that we bring, that we can help you and put you in position? And that's very important. Like, you still want to be in the business, be that resource, take advantage of it. So,
If there is a crash, there's a lot of opportunities for like probate sales.
Right. well, I think probate's a little bit different animal, but there's going to be a lot of opportunities from all kinds. Absolutely. Let me go back to that, because that's big, right? That is big. Make sure you have access to a resource that has answers to the questions that you don't or have no experience with. None of us here, look, I don't have the answers for a lot of stuff, but I know how to tell you that I don't have the answers, but I also know how to tell you that we as a team have answers. And I think that's going to be very important for you as a company, that you, through the experience of KW and what they bring and the experience with what Foster team can bring with you guys, that we can put you in position whether you have experience or not. I mean, you have a young lady here telling you that she went and knocked on 10 doors. Come on. You know, she sat through, I think, one of our presentations. You know, and so, like, come on, like, get that ball rolling. So I'm going to say, you know, we are very effective partners. We are in Whittier, we are nationwide, but we are effective partners. And our team, you'd be surprised with each and every one of us that are here and that are not here, and what we have planned for you as realtors and what we can do for you will set you apart. We are a resource, plain and simple. And I'll be a little selfish with that, because I believe that our team that we've put together is probably one of the best in LA, obviously, but in California. And what we're doing as a team for realtors on helping scale them nationwide by putting the resources in front of them, you all are going to benefit from. We support you all day long. All day long, we're going to support you and coach you and mentor you. It may not be me, it may not be Tanya, it may not be Angelo, Dave, and Sandra, you know, Anissa, it may not be any of us, but we may be somebody within our team, Prasante, Carlos, Leon, all of us. We want to be there for you. We offer training programs with no commercial real estate or finance experience necessary. None. I'm not going to ask you for $1. We believe in hard work. The way that we were raised in our vision, we want to show you. We don't want to take your money. We want to show you, because by building that trust with all of you here, you're in turn, we're friends. We're in bed for life. And I promise you that. Our program, in most cases, right, you got to put in the work. So our 90-day training program that will begin in about 2.5, 3 weeks for realtors, 17th or the 19th, right around there, somewhere in there. We hope to have you put at least one deal into escrow in 90 days, one deal. So we have a sample right now of 6. We did 15. 6 stayed in the program, so 9 got kicked out or just didn't comply, because all of a sudden you start telling the residential realtor that they got to work and there's accountability, they go away. And so be it. They're not the right fit. But 9 of them went away. All 6 of them will close the deal. So I would have played that call, but that agent right there, she's actually one of them that's in the program. Suzanne. You ready?
Starting out.
Let's go.
Brand new.
Easy.
Fresh.
Easy.
Okay.
First of all, you're present.
Like, I've heard a lot about like, oh, you want to start in residential and then shift into residential. Well, the way that it sounds is that I can start in the commercial and that will give me access to both.
Let me give you an
Like,
example.
do more.
So it's super easy, simple example.
Yeah.
My daughter is going to college. She's going to take her real estate jumping right into here first and foremost. You can always work your way backwards,
Yeah.
and you can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Residential is a little more labor intensive as far as micromanaging contacts. I'm not gonna say that commercial real estate is the same way, but you can do both at the same time. There's no reason why you can't. I mean, prospecting and non-business businesses actually getting interaction. I mean, you'll have to knock on 100 to 200 doors if that's the way you want to market to individuals. So either you bring value or you don't. And with business, they'll let you know it's very, very black and white transparent.
For something, you have anything to add on that?
I would say it's as easy as generating social media posts. They have social media say, hey, have you thought about owning your own building? At least, are you considering getting into owning your own property? Contact them. They just are, as part of this experience, that have just posted on social media and got deals.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of putting it out there. And you'd be surprised what you're able to catch.
Rob, you wanna jump in?
Yeah, a couple of points. First is that when a few years ago, when real estate market was super hot, we had a ton of people coming in because everybody, and I would have things that I was selling that the sign would go up and people were lining up outside. Now it's a much different market. So we've had a lot of people drop off. That's an opportunity because the people who stay in the game are the ones that are going to benefit from it. You talk to anybody who's been in the industry for 20, 30 years, they'll all tell you that was one of the key times because much as what Chris said, a lot of those people, if they didn't want to work, they got out of the business. You're here to work, you'll make a difference. You're the one that's going to actually have that traction. The other thing is that you wouldn't believe how many commercial agents are not out there. It's not like residential agents. So when you just mention to somebody, hey, I can provide commercial solutions for you, it's like, oh, and I was mentioning the gas station sale was one of my residential clients. And I told her, by the way, now it's shifted into commercial. And she goes, oh, thank God. She goes, I don't know anybody. And we have all of these gas stations. My dad definitely wants to sell this one and then probably start to sell other ones. So all that stuff starts to happen. But you just, much like you said, putting it on social media, you ask the questions, you put it out there. And if people know you, then that's when they'll do business. Yeah. There's opportunity out there. And much what Chris said too, business owners are looking for the ways to make money. That's why they're in this game. So even like when it comes to a lot of times when you have the residential mindset, not that it's bad, but what inventory is out there? Oh, that's where the opportunity is for somebody to buy or sell. When it comes to commercial, it's a whole different ballgame because you can have somebody that owns a property. You go to that person and you say, I have a buyer. I have somebody that wants to come in. This is how much they're willing to pay for it. Does that make sense to you? If the numbers make sense, they'll sell. And so you can create opportunities that weren't even there. So that's one of the magic things. That's one reason why I really want to bring Chris into this office because they facilitate that. This is the sort of thing, not only do they do this thing, but you can trust them. You know, it's a kind of thing like I have contacted them and I'm like, hey, I have a question on this, and they get back to me. You know, if it's not Chris, it's part of his team. Hey, what about this? They get back to me. You know, that's a huge resource because also a lot of people in commercial, when they're talking about the big boys like Wells Fargo and so on, not that I'm dissing on them, but I am. But when you talk to them and you want an answer, you're not going to get it. Or it may come eventually, or it may even come cryptically where you're like, what the hell was that? When you ask them, you get that answer, you get that support, which in this kind of a business makes the difference. And then you're the winner, you're the hero because your client looks at you going, you provided the solution. I'm going to stick with you.
It's go ahead, Chris. You want to say something? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that in general, your big commercial brokerages, your CBREs, your lead associates, they're not providing the customer service that you guys are able to provide.
All day long.
It's a
They
different
are not.
experience.
It's
So
crazy.
provide them the residential customer service experience in the commercial world.
He's big on that. He and Crisante and brought that to our team, right? He's big. I never really realized that we come from the finance. Obviously adding them to our team and what they bring from a consultant standpoint under our umbrella. It's huge what he just said. But what I like, something that you said is that you're new to the game.
Yeah.
You haven't been influenced by all the negative tendencies. No bad
Not
habits.
jaded. Not jaded.
No bad habits. No bad habits.
Yeah.
And so this is the time to mold and get yourself coaching. And look, your presence itself and just your presence says a lot. You don't even have to say a word. We're big on this reading this stuff. So that in itself just add those extra skill sets, get a mentor, get somebody who can help you with that.
And this is free education.
Yeah, we're not-
This is
it's not
free
money,
program.
Vegas, it's like timeshare, it's none of that. No, look, yes, it's free. And does it cost us money? Yeah, and we paid a shit ton of money for the software and the marketing system that we bought for the residential realtor. Yeah, it costs money, but by us not putting you in position, look, we're gonna make money because you're gonna bring stuff to the table and you're gonna have trust in bringing us along. We're gonna make the money on the loan. But if we can continue to service and mentor and put you in position to win, that's it. It's a win for us. It's a win for us. So the system's in place. Yeah, I'm not gonna charge you anything. There's a lot that we're gonna expect. We come from athletic backgrounds that we're always expected a lot of us, along with our parents. And so we believe in a system and a process to get you to be successful. It's not gonna be easy. That we do know.
If you're willing to work, you're gonna be good. That's just plain and simple. The average business owner doesn't want to deal with the stuff, and that's why we started this, is because we saw, the average business owner doesn't want to deal with, the stuffy, like stereotypical commercial agent, and they're not getting that experience.
They work 9 to 5, they don't answer your call, they'll call you back next week. Nah, what Crisante just said, and he's very hard on that with his team. Call back, take what you have in this arena and just do it in the commercial. And that in itself, the value is up here.
And sometimes getting out there, there's a lot of terms in commercial that's being thrown around and something will get thrown your way. It happens in this business all the time. And if you don't know the answer, the best way to answer that is, you know what? I have experts on my team. I can give you an answer now, but let me contact them because I want to make sure I get you the best answer that will really service you. And that's when you can leverage the foster company.
Yeah.
That's when you can leverage that and it comes off, you're still the resource.
And the other thing, you're gonna look at a lot of potential clients or transactions that aren't clients or transactions at all, but what you're gonna get from us is you're gonna learn on the job.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go over those tax returns with you. We're gonna explain to you why exactly this does not make sense. Okay, did you ask if they filed their tax returns the last 3 years? Okay, well, let's find an answer to that first before you even waste any more time, because if not, then it's.
Well, yeah.
That's huge. That
And
is
he's big
huge.
on so we built out scripts for all the training programs that take you in either A, and if A doesn't do this, then we go to B, and if B does this, we go back to A, and if B doesn't do this, we have C. So we've built a lot of that out that we're giving through this program.
That sounds helpful, because I frankly don't have a numbers brain.
Yeah,
It's not.
he's big on that. Well,
I'm not.
well, Mark too. Mark's not here. So our team, we're big on that.
Yeah.
And but we're in the people business in the end.
Yeah,
Residential or commercial, we're in the people business.
yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah. And I always get back to this guy because he's the one that will oversee the whole education program. He's a strict disciplinarian on how he runs his life on a daily basis. And so that's transcended into how we're gonna run that training program and how our team is gonna mentor you through this program. Because if you're not making money, look, we're not making money either, plain and simple. And time is money. And we value time. And so we need to make money on you, okay? So we need to make you win. So, I mean, Bev, just example is like she sent me a text, like so dual text, says, hey, Chris, this is my client. We just started having conversations with her client, so that we put her in a position to win. And it's just sometimes through basic text where she set up appointments already for us. And now she wins because of the support system like that. So, and we've been on a couple of Zooms already, right? 2 weeks with some of your clients. Oh yeah, we're going to Idaho, as a matter of fact. She lined up a group in Idaho that we're going to go out there and train. We truly believe, honestly, this is the first program of its kind. And being a little selfish about it, because I truly believe this is going to be valuable throughout the entire country and what we're building and what we're taking to the realtor community. So this is big. Yeah, she's right. I forgot about that group text too. We are going to Idaho. Well, are they saying, hopefully you sell the real estate, number one, right? Yeah.
We do our part, and then do we get a percentage of the loan?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
yeah, no, you get the real estate. We want to put you in position to win on the real estate. You got nothing on the loan.
And then Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I need you to go close a deal. And by you putting yourself to close a deal, I'm hoping you put us in front of that guy or gal or whoever it is to get the loan.
And the big thing with commercial is being able to actually perform on the transaction, because as he
Yeah.
went over the slides, it's non-emotional decision. So why is follow-up so important? Or why is what you say you can do, you actually perform on? Because with business people, it's their livelihood and survival is based on performance. So if they don't perform, they can't stay open, they can't feed their families. So you have to be able to perform with whatever you say you're going to do. You have to be able to do that. So if you have a building owner that's interested, but you send them to Wells Fargo and it's 120 days and you don't have any answers.
Time is money.
Oh, so let me rephrase the question. Say I don't want to be commercial real estate.
I have you. I know the
and
answer.
I want to just refer you
Perfect.
to someone.
Absolutely, you
How
get
would I
paid.
get?
Absolutely, you're gonna get paid on the real estate and you're gonna get paid on the loan. From that perspective,
Yeah.
you will. You don't want,
If I don't do their
perfect,
transaction,
perfect.
just refer them out.
perfect. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. But we will take control of the real estate.
Sure.
And our team will close that real estate on your behalf and pay you. And we do that right now. Absolutely. We'll pay you. If you don't want to do anything, no problem.
It's becoming a commercial agent. It's expensive. You have to do the CoStar, Blue Net.
You don't have to.
Oh.
We hope to show you, but it's fine. Give us the deal. We'll pay you. No, we're okay with that. No, you're not. You're not. No, it's understandable. It's understandable. No, we're gonna give you options.
Be my best friend.
Oh. Yeah, right. But no, that's, but we'll also, when we close it, we'll send you a picture of the check, show you what you missed. No, I want your deal. We want that first deal.
Well, because I work with the commercial agent at Keller Williams, Beverly Hills, and I work with him, so could I work with him as my team with you guys?
Absolutely.
And then we
Of course,
pay him
of course.
maybe-
But a good thing for you to do is introduce us to whoever you're working with, and then we'll absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
You got roundless lots of support. We all speak Spanish. Except for me. Do a little bit. We're actually done with the proprietary software that I was talking about. We spent a lot of money on it. So we're in the hole right now a little bit, but we helped build what we call funnels and landing pages for all the realtors. We have templates for that. And that's what's big. Yeah, it's big because right now, if you scan that code on there, you'll get somebody who starts texting you back and wants to set appointments up with you. So it's all AI technology that your system that we built for us as a team, we're actually giving to you guys for free. However, again, you've got to follow the process and procedure. And if you don't, when you sign that contract, you're going to be paying us a monthly fee if you don't want to follow that process. We will still give you the system. It's fine. But we want you to follow stuff. So we have, our system is top of the line. It's all AI based. It's all workflows built. It's all funnel based. So we're going to give that to you guys. The marketing and developing of other productive referral sources. We have the ability to pinpoint how to go and get you guys business. That's the result. How to put you in front of people. And we'll put you in. Lost the remote. So our services, those are some of the services we offer. What sets us apart, right? We 23 years of experience. Again, I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna harp on that because as a team, collectively, it's probably more than that. But as a company, whole 23 years in the business, we have relaxed guidelines. We know. We can tell you when you bring us a deal, we're gonna tell you it's a deal within 72 hours. Look, if that client doesn't want you to represent them on the real estate, with their friend or whatever the case may be, and we just do the loan, we'll give you some money on that too. So because in the end, it's about. Put a deal in front of us, put a deal in front of us, and we'll show you. And what we do know is that we're very fair with us. No, you don't.
We have agent partners that have brought deals and worked with these guys. The ability of them to go through the numbers and really size up the deal and have that information going into a listing presentation is a game changer. Because if you go in sitting at a listing presentation showing the owner of a business, hey, we've already got your deal approved with an SBA lender. So as soon as we find a buyer, we've got a loan program already set up for the transaction. That's the advantage of working with this team, is because you get that type of advantage. They have their underwriting in-house, so when we say it can be done, it can be done. So really having that type of backing helps you to be successful when you go through these presentations with clients.
Yep, we're there for you. Size up a deal, we don't collect any money from you or your clients. We'll get them into a deal, we'll collect the money after. It's important to remember with commercial. Appraisal and environmental will run you about $9,000. Okay, so buyers that are there in place, they better know up front that they're gonna have to spend about $9,000. Now, we don't collect money up front or tell you there's a deal and or collect any money until it's a deal, until we know it's gonna be approvable. And that's the difference between us and banks. Just remember, it's gonna cost $9,000. So have your clients ready. It's just the cost of doing business. Your underwriting time is minimized from us to the bank. Honestly, I think the banks get stuff done in 30 days. I mean, we get stuff done in 7 to 10 days max to get you a hard commitment. Open to close time, I can close a deal in 37 to 42 days, sometimes sooner with our loan programs. Again, the banks are gonna run you through the ringer and keep you in that deal for over 90 days. How long were you guys in that deal? Pomona, are you still in the deal or are you close on?
We're closing, Monday,
Okay, it's great. Great news, right before the forum.
60 days.
6 days, good. Yeah, there you go. And that's actually not bad.
And that makes it very attractive to your clients in commercial because money is, or time is money. And so the quicker it can be closed, the more money that they either get in their pocket or that they save.
We have specialty loan products that we can, the business owners don't like to pay taxes. We get it, right? They're just like realtors. And we have programs that we can, even if they show losses, we have what's called projection-based loans. We help them with that. We could get them in deals just based off of projections. Again, we have nationwide resources. We go to all 50 states. And there's the big one right there for you and your clients, the 1 degree of separation from the decision maker. I could literally pick up the phone, and I should call them right now. I could pick up the phone immediately and get answers to questions like in a millisecond. So when you give multi-millions of dollars to your referral sources, they will pick up the phone after 5. They will pick up the phone at 10 o'clock at night and on the weekends. They do that for our team. They know. And I'm gonna end it with my good friend, right? Oh, is that what it means?
Yes.
Oh. We have a charger? No. Oh, do you have a charger? No. Oh, the computer's gonna die, so I guess I should have brought a charger. And I didn't. But it's okay. Did we have a charger? No. That's okay. That was really nice. We'll make it quick then, right? The more problems you solve, the more money you make. More problems means more opportunities for you. Most people are allergic to hard work. They don't want to work. Look, you're gonna work in our program, okay? You're gonna work. You got a 2nd degree jiu-jitsu black belt right here, 2nd in the world at the age of 48. You think he's not gonna make you work? You're gonna work. I ain't playing with that. So look in the mirror and ask yourself, right? Am I giving 110%? Or are you gonna sit in the corner and cry like a little whip? Look, let's make money. We don't want to waste your time and we don't want our time to be wasted, okay? We want to put you in position. So anyways, scan that, get in our program. If you don't want to get in our program, fine, but let us be your referral sources. Let the computer die. And I want to answer any questions.
Is that the same QR code on this?
Yeah, use that QR code.
Does anybody have a deal, at all they have questions on or scenario? Anything like that, run your book of business or anybody that's like the inquiry, it'll tremendously help everybody else.
And if you don't, just, yeah, we'll to what he said, if you don't, and you want to put us on the text, as Beth does, put us on the text, get somebody's number here, all of us here that are here, there's 4 or 5 of us that are here. Our team is your team. Get in touch with them. They'll get them on a text, they'll answer the question, they'll be the resource for you. I'm just more interested to tell I got you that going with my mind going here. What about you, sir? Because I know you and I met last time. You had some specific questions. We gotta get you going. You asked, like, where do we start, right? Always got to do the beginning.
So let's say, what's the next immediate step after the sign?
You want to make money?
Yes,
Of
absolutely.
course, right? I'm gonna get with Does Joey run this office?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get with Joey.
Uh-huh.
And I would like to roll out this program for your office. Are you part of this office? Okay, we would like to roll out we have a program that started with 70, but back now, probably, that'll be right. But we would like to roll out for your office or those that want to be involved. It would be great to get 10 to 20 of you guys in the program. However, I think he would benefit from it, or KW, extremely benefit, especially on this side. Just so you know, this is the first time that we're meeting on this side. We don't have any business on this side. And this is gonna propel you, so this is an opportunity. That's why we need to get Joey on the phone, get him in person. But either way, to answer your question is where do you start? The program will start in 3 weeks. And hopefully by then I'll have negotiated something with your office to put your whole office hopefully on the program. That would be great.
Yeah.
Minimum of 10 to 20 people want to have this office.
And the program, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The program is just like, of course, it's like a daily commitment, right? You're always gonna be on. the
You're
phone.
gonna have homework, like,
Right.
you're gonna be very busy the first 2 weeks, and you'll know whether or not you wanna.
17 to 20 days, you're gonna be very, very busy. What we're gonna require of you. We're gonna require one of those days of the week, you're gonna have to wake up at 4 o'clock. Okay, that was it. These first, I don't know, the first 14 to 21 days, we're gonna meet in person twice.
Twice a week.
Well, we'll come to you if you guys get the right people. Right, get us the right number, and we have a team here that will assign, he's got we have partners here, we've got partners out here that are part of what we've got.
Is it all or nothing, like you can't kind of dip in and out?
All or nothing, all or nothing, no dipping in and dipping
Like,
out.
when you
I
can-
appreciate all the questions, no.
If you have something you need us to look at.
We'll look at it.
Oh,
That's exactly what I think. I mean, just,
Talk to me.
you know, see, as far as going out talking to people, getting business. I'm one of the best ever at going there. But I have something in my way that prevents me from going all out like that.
Is it too much, to ask, what that's,
I'm a professional trainer and I'm up at 3 o'clock every morning on my way to the gym.
you're the guy that we want on our
You know what I'm
team?
saying? So I cannot be able to do this.
We'll adapt the program for you if that's what you want. We want someone like you to tell us like, hey, Chris, like, I want to do it. And let us adapt something that may work for, it's not gonna work for everybody, like, I don't think I want to do that for her, but I will do it for you.
It's you when you talk.
Yeah.
I have that, as soon as I get it out of the way, then,
I want someone who gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and trains.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Give me a call, I'm up too.
Yeah, this guy's straight. You had something to say.
I forgot now.
Oh, you'll remember at 3 in the morning.
Beverly had a question.
In regards to zoning, where can I go and like learn about the zoning? Because some of these buildings have, people are renting from this land. When we went, there was a lot of buildings being, apartments being, built. Something like marketing it to the developer where they can sell the land. Is that something?
So I work with a company by the name of, I don't use numbers, they're called Urban Access. His name is Eduardo Hernandez. I don't necessarily, I'm gonna tell you, no, we don't necessarily want to waste our team's time with that. But him and his company, that's what they do all day long for our records. We contracted with them. Urban Access and Eduardo Hernandez, send you his number, something, USC grad. He was actually a city planner for 20 years. And he went opened up his own consulting company. So a lot of that stuff he knows. He's part of our team, he's part of our consulting. He does have his own company, but he's under our umbrella. And so, but in addition to that, Crisante, Carlos, me and Mel, like all our CRE guys, they'll put you in position. And hopefully we can start our own commercial estate division too, along with all these guys. This is all the deals that are popping. So, but we'll take care of that.
Maybe is you want to check with the city, we have a deal in East LA where the city notified while we have a listing that they're changing the zoning designation. So while it's zoned M1 industrial right now, whoever purchases the property will no longer be able to use it for M1 industrial. The city wants to go to retail.
Oh, that's.
So if you go in and you say, oh, I have an M1 zone property, well, you gotta check with the city and see what their plans are going forward, because it can change the whole dynamic of this.
I just want to, I don't want to take any of your time, so you guys got to follow some. Oh, yeah, Mike Thomas and Michael. Simpson. Yeah, we know him well. Yeah.
Because, you know, they shut you off right away, you don't know. You don't know the type of contracts you use, or they just don't want to use you. So that's a great place to start as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, for sure. Okay, it'll be very easy.
Yeah.
You know, just having those conversations all day long, being around. So we wish that we could have more of those resources where we could take people with us. It's just, we as a team are extremely busy and we're rolling out, so that's why those programs are great, but we do have them.
Yeah.
That would be-
Yeah, I think
Have a good day. Thank you. Anybody else? Can I hear from you, because you were the last one that came in, what do you do for the,
Just residential support.
okay, who you work with?
I just transitioned over to.
Oh, okay. Who are you, who you got upline right now, you know?
That's.
Oh, you. Aggressive, I'm telling her, she's a good mentor. I actually met her at a sushi place in Vegas. We were sitting down last year. And next thing you know, we saw her again in LA. And then we saw her all going. What about you, Rob? You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know you are. So, Rob, good, yeah. What do you?
I'm ready.
You have any business? Yeah. You want to build me too? You want to tell? Ask a question. Start with the Chambers of Commerce, you're involved. What are the Chamber of Commerce events? Be in front of the goal of all the business events you can everywhere. We are at conferences, we started in March, and you're thinking this morning, someone asked us, Chris, you're gone until November, and I thought we were going every month for 6 months, but we're at conferences once or twice a month from now, from March all the way to November. So I'm not saying you have to go to conferences, but put yourself in position to be in front of the right people, business owners.
And ask the gatekeepers, like,
Don't be afraid.
yeah, I belong to 3 chambers, one of them Santa Fe Springs. The Claudia over there I know very well. And so I asked Claudia, I said, Claudia, who do I need to see? And she goes, here's the people you need to see. Here's the events that you'll be able to meet the gatekeepers for those businesses. And then actually that got me into Bridgewater. It's Santa Fe Springs.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry.
Attorney.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's definitely, I saw a young lady, she's like 32 or 33 years old, she works for Collier International. And she works for a big, she works in the apartment division. And she sells $400 to $500 million a year in apartments, big stuff. And she actually told me the opposite, because I like, you know, I talk to people, she's like, huh? I go right to the head of the company, and I'm like, man, he's so young. She goes, yeah, that's why I'm able to sell what I'm able to sell. And who's the guy who's on the Clippers? That was one of her first clients. She said she got in touch with him somehow, he hung up on her multiple times. And she told me, he told her, you call the owners. You call the owners directly and you sell them on the value that you bring or that your team brings. Show them the value. They're gonna put you in a position to win. What happens? He doesn't sell stuff, but he referred her to somebody of somebody and somebody, now she's selling for $500 million a year. Think about those commissions at 32 years old. No? Anyways. Right here. Joe, so talk to him, he'll get you going. We appreciate your time. Thank you. And